Shalom, Shalom. This Sharia from GMS Savannah, Georgia, coming with another little quick lesson here. But first and foremost, I'm gonna give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, the Kakwadash, and double honors to the beloved apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone with rule well and teach well, and to the Akim pushing 100% truth and sincerity while risking their life and freedom to do so. Teaching is 100% truth out of the Bible to four corners of the earth in sincerity. And salutation to the hopeful elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but your father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson I'm going into is this Shadisha Green still in ICU, suffered brain bleed and loss. You know, you look at these females, man. You females are supposed to find a husband, you know what I'm saying, and bring children into the world. But our people love Babylon the Great. They want to make a name for themselves, and just 2/3. So she's bleeding from the brain. Hey, that's a problem that she created for herself. She should have found a man, have kids, and taken care of the family and the home, and and hopefully find a hopeful elect man of Israel. That's the ultimate goal. That's what every woman should be fighting for. Not being out here fighting to get your damn head beat in, and then you got your brain bleeding, in a loss. But right here in the article, it says, former Unified Woman Super Middleweight Champion Shadisha Green provided an update Sunday after being hospitalized for her knockout loss to Landy Daniels on Friday. Daniels stopped Green in the ninth round of the co-main event of MVPW 02 at Infos Theater at Madison Square Gardens in an upset. Daniels landed a series of right hands that Green did not answer, causing the referee to stop the fight. Green was immediately placed on a stool before being taken out of the arena on a stretcher and transported to a local hospital. Most valuable production head of boxing Mike Leonard said during the post-fight news conference that Green was awake and talkative. He said Green provided an update of her status on social media Sunday, stating that she was still in ICU and suffering a brain bleed in the fight. With everything in me, I wanted to thank those who had great concern and even the people who figured out during the fight something was wrong, Green posted on Instagram. I passed out due to bleeding out of my brain. However, I am in ICU on the road to healing. I'll be back to get what's mine 100% covered. Well, I hope at that time you getting your brain shook up and bleeding, that you repent and come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But we know that these are 2/3 people out here, and they're the non-desirables. As they say, born in vain. A lot of these 2/3 Israelites were born in vain. But this is right here what these women like this, they love to box and carry on and not do the duties of a woman and what a woman should be here in Babylon the Great. But we notice the wickedness of Babylon and who's in rulership right now. But right here, 1 John 2:15 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. In the word, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And these women, it goes for them too. Even though this is, just saying, the man. But these women, these 2/3 women, they are out of order. Which the Bible is pretty much all about the Israelite man anyway. That's all it's about. The women do have their parts in it. But it's mainly about the men. But these women are out of order. They love the world. They want to make a name for themselves instead of finding, a elect man of Israel and settle down and having a hedge of protection over them. But, like I say, she know about the Hebrew Israelites out here. She done heard great millstone, but a lot of them don't want to repent. And what she's going through is pretty much judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. He sat her ass down. But will she tarry? Probably definitely she will. She won't repent and come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. If we know. And like I say, she want to go back and fight and I'll be back and all this. Okay. Next time you won't leave the ring alive. It's gonna be horrible next time, even worse than it is now. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt not be a priest to me, seeing that they have forgotten the law of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. I will also forget thy children. And like I say, man, a lot of our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, and a lot of it these women, man. They've been the problem since the garden. Lack of knowledge, man. And they are a big time problem. And these females got to understand what they part of this movie is all about, man. It's getting a man of the Lord, having kids, bringing kids into the world, having that hedge of protection, because hell finna break loose. Y'all are the weaker vessel. You fighting women, you don't have that hedge of protection. You gonna have to be out here fighting men, and you're gonna lose because you the weaker vessel. And Jeremiah 4:22, for my people foolish, they have not known me. They are Sodom's children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. One of my favorite scriptures. For our people are foolish. They have not known me. They are Sodom's children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And she around, like I say, she's around here, boxing. But that's Babylon the Great. You can do anything in Babylon the Great. But like I say, when the righteous in rulership, the people rejoice. But when the wicked is in rulership, the people mourn. Women aren't supposed to be out here fighting and carrying on and stuff like that. Especially the Israelite woman. Y'all are royalty. But 2/3 on this side. And, got to be put away and brought back into the kingdom. But that's the thing about it, You see stuff and they want you to feel sorry for them to a certain point, man. But I don't feel sorry for them because you shouldn't even be out here fighting, for sport. Being an Israelite woman. You following the ways of the heathen. That's pretty much what it is. You see what's in the world, you love what's in the world, and you want to do that too. But a lot of our women don't understand. You get you a man of the Lord, bring children in the world, and have that hedge of protection over you. Having a husband. And taking care of the children at home. Not being out here boxing and, fighting, whatever, type of fight she do is MMA fighting or whatever. Pretty much it is. or whatever, boxing. But that ain't the way to go. You know, a lot of these women out here, y'all better repent before it's too late. And I just thought it was just ridiculous for what's going on, and shouldn't be sorry for, bleeding on the brain or whatever. You know, our women shouldn't be doing that. But I hope this edified to the hopeful sheep, lamb, sheep. Kwan Yasharala, call Allah, Yahabashim Yahushai. On to the next lesson. Shalom.